Mike Barnicle writing in the Daily Beast about the Boston neighborhood that made John Kelly. Mike writes, quote, "Their neighborhood was a familiar pocket and portrait of 1950s post-war America, largely Irish and Catholic. Nearly each apartment and almost every two-family home touched by the impact of World War II and Korea. There were more veterans on the block than there were hydrants. This was John Kelly's world then, and it is John Kelly's world today as he takes over as White House Chief of Staff. Devotion to duty, to the country, to the chain of command, to family, to loyalty, to honor, courage, to history, to the memory of those who sacrificed all. Today, General Kelly works for a commander-in-chief who could not be more unlike his chief of staff. Where Kelly symbolizes honor and honesty, Trump symbolizes expediency and duplicity. Loyalty is a stranger to this president. It is in Kelly's blood, and on those long days when he might wonder why he took the job, he will, no doubt, think of how he was raised on Bigelow Street in Brighton with his father John at the kitchen table and his mother Joan making breakfast. And he will think of the son he often visits, who is quite close to the White House, just across Memorial Bridge in Section 80, grave 9480 at Arlington. First Lieutenant Robert Michael Kelly, United States Marine Corps, who died in Afghanistan on November 9th, 2010. He was 29 years old. Robert's father, Marine Corps General John Kelly, still serves every day. Mike, talk a little bit more about this guy and this strange marriage between Donald Trump, who works on impulse, who works on insult, and John Kelly, who's lived his professional life inside a chain of command with honor and duty.
Well, Joe alluded to part of the problem earlier when we were talking about the president's difficulty with the truth. And if he continues to have difficulty with the truth, General Kelly, who symbolizes the truth and honor and integrity, he has all of his life, especially during 40 years in the Marine Corps, he will stand up to the president. It's important to note who this guy is, General Kelly, and anecdotally, this offers up some definition of who he is and who his family is and what his family represents. When he received the call, finally accepting the office of Chief of Staff, the position of Chief of Staff to the President of the United States, he was in California. He was visiting his oldest son, Marine Corps Major John Kelly, who was about to be deployed. He's lost one son to war. He has another son in the service of the country. He is in the service of the country. And all of us, no matter what we think of Donald Trump, we have to root for John Kelly, because rooting for John Kelly is rooting for the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is he the kind of guy, Mike, who, when Donald Trump makes him look bad for the first time, or when Donald Trump tells him something that isn't true for the first time, he will walk away from it to protect his own dignity, protect his own integrity? Or will he be in there pushing back and fighting on behalf of the country?
I think the latter. I think he stays and pushes back, because this isn't about his dignity or his reputation. This is about, I think, in General Kelly's mind, this is about the United States of America.
You know, Mike, so to explain to people, though, how General Kelly may be more patient than they would expect, how he might take a snub here or deal with abhorrent behavior in other ways and still stay in his job. It does help to know he sees this as service to the country, first of all. And secondly, as we know, the idea that all generals and lieutenant colonels and and other members of the military that John Kelly served under as he moved up to be general are angels would not be accurate. That you have to put up many times in the military with incompetent supervisors, and you've got to figure out a way to get through that and to move to the other side of it. And so the military does, the discipline is not just a physical discipline, it is also a discipline to understand that when you are in the chain of command, you're not going to like everything that you were told to do or ordered to do, and sometimes it means even taking men and women into combat when you don't think that's in their best interests.
Well, General McMaster wrote a terrific book, Dereliction of Duty, about exactly that, Joe, about how sometimes junior officers under the command staff, they know the decisions are wrong and are going to be harmful, And in the course of the Vietnam War, not enough junior officers stood up to the command staff. General Kelly, because of his life, because of his 4 decades in the Marine Corps, he knows he has a responsibility for everything that's under him.
Right.
It's his responsibility. He's not going to say, Joe, that was your responsibility.
Right.
You're under me. It's my responsibility to make sure you do your job. So the way the job is going to go for him, we're going to find out. But I think in the end, he stands up to the President of the United States.
And the only way this works, Mika, is, again, everybody reports to General Kelly.
Right.
Everybody, sons, daughters, son-in-laws, everybody, friends, acquaintances, they all have to go through General Kelly if you want the White House to work.
Right. No one works alongside him.
No, Ivanka Trump does not work alongside him, and she's not proud to be working alongside him, as something that we all said yesterday. I got to just say this. It's very interesting. We all said this yesterday. I didn't, but I was saying it, you know, like up in Boston after seeing the game. I was agreeing with everybody, and I thought that especially, I thought that Steve Schmidt gave a very impassioned plea as to why daughters don't work alongside generals that have given their entire life in service of this country just because they're daughters. And I thought it was interesting. You got attacked yesterday, and it was like in the press. It was like it was very sexist. It was like a cat fight.
Well,
because you said it, but when the men said it, that didn't rate a mention. But you state something that we all say about
Actually,
White House policy.
I was talking about Jared and Ivanka.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't know.
But they turned that into a cat fight. But Willie, I didn't see anybody yesterday thinking that it was appropriate that Ivanka Trump tweeted, "I want." And by the way, I like Ivanka. Always have. We've all known her in New York. We've known her for years, and I've always said nothing but great things about her. And actually, always said before they got into the White House, if you want to have something to judge Donald Trump positively by, look at his kids. I've said it a billion times. So this is not personal against Ivanka Trump. I will tell you, this text is repugnant.
Tweet.
Put the tweet up. It's just, it's repulsive. And it goes again, it illustrates exactly what has hurt this White House over the last 6 months. And it explains why General Kelly needs to report to his boss, Donald Trump, and everybody else needs to report to General Kelly. Looking forward to serving alongside John Kelly as we work for no.
But why would she think anything other than exactly what she wrote in that? She's been at the president's side from the beginning. It's her father. He's made her and her husband, Jared Kushner, feel like they are the right and left hand of the president of the United States, even without a formal role in her case. So I don't think that was a dig. I think that was her. That's the way she feels. I sit at the side of my father, who's the president of the United States, and welcome aboard General Kelly.
And yet, we were saying a couple of days before, everybody else has said that everybody has to report to the chief of staff if you want the White House to work. And Jim, I would say it goes doubly for children. And I wonder, I can't even imagine ever saying, I'm going to work alongside General Kelly, What? Absolutely no qualifications.
Right?
What?
I mean, come on. Like, it's never going to happen. Like, we're all recidivists.
Well, then this White House
recidivist
will
who is
fail.
Has like this bizarre faith in like his own way, and his own way is working the phones late at night. It's talking to the kids. Listen, I think for all the stuff that you dump on Trump, it was a strong pick. Like, he should be applauded for putting someone strong in
General
there.
Kelly's a really strong
He's not going to change. He's not going to change. He's still going to work the phones late at night. He's still going to talk to the kids.
But that's
He's still going to play the game.
It's fine to work with the kids. I mean, it's fine to talk to the kids, of course. It's fine to work the phones late at night.
But if they work for the White House,
it is not fine to have a structure where you let family members wander around your chief of staff and guide policy. Now, it's one thing when you go home and somebody goes, you know, what you did today was really stupid. You should consider apologizing. That's happened to me throughout my lifetime. Right. And I go back the next day and say, I said something really stupid yesterday, and I apologize. That's one thing. It's quite another to be telling the world, I am going to work alongside the chief of staff. No, you're not. Not if this White House is to function. Not if you care about what's in Donald Trump's best interest. Not if you care about what's in this country's best interest. You will not, in the office, work alongside the chief of staff. or you will cause your father to fail.
Well,
it's that simple. If you want Donald Trump to succeed, you'll get out of the way and you will let the chief of staff do the chief of staff's job. You report to the chief of staff. The chief of staff reports to his boss, Donald Trump. And that's it.
And if you've been the Trump whisperer or the moderating force, you've been terrible at it. I mean, it's been a failure for 6 months.
There is no Trump whisperer.
So own it. Mike's great column is posted on the Daily Beast. Check it out. Up next, experts say the president has been good for economic growth, but that he maybe overstating his role. We'll talk exclusively to the former New York City mayor, Michael Bloomberg, and Goldman Sachs CEO, Lloyd Blankfein. Morning Joe's back in a moment.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.